Hi, my name is Mr. Mobbs. I'm here to talk to you about combined science. This is sometimes called combined science trilogy because there are 3 sciences within the GCSE. It's sometimes confused with triple science, but this one's called trilogy. I'm always asked by parents and students, what's the best way to revise? So hopefully I'm going to give you a bit of information about this, about how to revise and what content it revises within the course. So what is in the GCSE? Well, there are obviously 3 different subjects, biology, chemistry, physics, and as you can see from the slide, there are different content within each one. So biology has cells and organisation, disease and bioenergetics, biological responses, genetics and reproduction, and ecology, whilst chemistry has atomic structure and bonding, chemical reactions, organic reactions, and the earth and the atmosphere. Physics has matter and radioactivity, energy, waves, and forces. As you can see, there's large amounts of content within science, and this is one of the issues that students find when it comes to revision. They always ask me, what's the best way to revise? I would always say that best way would be to revise little amounts and often revisiting each topic multiple times. This way it's much more likely the student's able to remember it. There's also GCSE Pod, which is linked with our reconnection plans to allow students to access more revision material to help them in their exams. We will also be covering some revision materials within in-school intervention, and this will be targeted to specific topics and specific students who we feel they need. We also have revision guides available. These are for sale in the science prep room. They're for £5.60. Usually the RRP is £10 from Amazon or WH Smith, so it's a considerable discount on that. You will only need 1 guide per student. So there are 2 guides. One is for higher tier and one is for foundation tier. Ask your son or daughter which tier they are covering and buy that specific guide. If they're unsure, they can speak to their teacher who will be able to advise them. One of the issues that students do find when it comes to exam questions are those that are covering the required practicals. These are practicals that students have to cover in their course. These make up 20% of the exam questions and marks, and they have been added in because the coursework element has been removed from the GCSE. I have added in a link there to a practical handbook that lists all the different practicals that there are. There are a number of different practicals for each different subject. There are 7 biology practicals, 6 chemistry practicals, and 8 physics practicals for trilogy combined science. I've also added links to videos that allow students to recap and revisit the practicals that they have covered, to refresh their memory, to allow them to access the exam questions in a more convenient way. Another revision resource that might be quite useful is BBC Biteside. This has been revamped very recently. Within it, there is videos, content, and there's also tests to allow students to look at specific content, specific areas, and to test themselves and see how well the revision is going. There's also Seneca Learning and GCSE Pod. These are both valuable resources that will help with revision and add more material to allow them to revise more efficiently. There is also a revision folder on the student shared drive. We've added lots and lots of revision materials within there for any student to access at any point. We'll be adding more content each week, so just keep going back and looking at them. In terms of exams, you can see that there are 6 exams, 2 for biology, 2 for chemistry, 2 for physics. Generally, they seem to be clustered in 2 groups. The paper 1s are found together, and they're usually about a week and a bit apart. There's usually a couple of weeks after that, and then the paper 2 cluster comes in with biology 2, chemistry 2, physics 2. How are they examined? As you can see, there are 6 papers, and 2 for biology, 2 for chemistry, 2 for physics. You will get a mark for each paper, and these marks will be added together to give you one large number. That number will be then looked at on a spreadsheet to see where it fits in within specific grade boundaries. As you can see on the slide below, that was from June 19, and you can see that specific numbers will give you a certain grade. As you can also see, you will be given 2 grades. These cannot be more than 1 number apart. So you're a 5-5, a 6-5, 6-6. You cannot gain a 6-4, for example. These will look on your paper as just 2 simple numbers. So a 5-5 will look like the number 55. But it simply means 2 GCSEs, a grade 5 and a grade 5. Each paper is an hour and 15 minutes and is obviously nearly 17% of the whole GCSE.